Hello there folks, Steve here. I thought I'd make this video for those of you who know my videos probably more. You know that usually I try and bring a positive thing, you know, something to think about, something to have, you know, hope in or whatever. Something that brings clarity, you know. I don't know if this video will, I'm just speaking out my own feelings, my own pity, I don't know what it is, anger. You know, I'm a bit fed up today anyway. So I came out with the idea of just speaking into the camera. But on the way, walking across the fields just about 2 minutes ago, I was just walking across the field, you know, bearing in mind I'm barefoot as well, I've got a rucksack on. You know, I look like a wonder, I don't exactly look like a football fan or a, you know, prison breakout. But you know, there's a car then driving across the hill. I know it's like a green car, and it's you know, it's the farmer sort of guy, you know, the landowner or whatever. You know, what are you doing walking across the land? You know, in a quite polite way, but you could tell he was like, you know, wanted to know what I was doing. So I sort of told him to wait, and I walked across the field, and I went to his car. I always know this sort of shit, you know. It's so easy to just say okay and walk off. But I thought, no, I'm going to confront this guy a little bit. And he's like, oh, you know, I want to know what you're doing walking across the land. And I says, I'm just walking, you know. I'm just walking, making photographs and enjoying the nature. I always walk around here. It's the nature. And he's like, but this is our land. And I says, what makes it your land? Is this not, you know, the Lord God's earth? Does this not belong to us all? Yeah, but obviously I'm working, and I'm working for the people who own it. And I'm saying, well, yeah, the people own it through legislation, don't they? Do they own it through divine right, or do they own it just on paper? You know, because ownership isn't possession. You can't own a child in the same way that you can possess a child. Ownership is like duty of care, responsibility. You know, you own a cat because it belongs to you. It longs for you when you're not there. You know, it hears the sound of your voice. It's at one with you. Same as like a garden that you needed your care and attention as a gardener. You would have that. You would own the garden because you couldn't disown it, because it would perish without your ownership. But nowadays, people have got this paper ownership in their head, which is 1/10. It's like a finger. You know, I've talked about this before. It's a tithe. It's 1/10. Anything that you can point at, mine, 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 own, 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 own. Anything that you can point at with your finger is a lie to a great degree. You know, and this is something that, you know, people say, oh yeah, but the rich people own all the land. No, they fucking don't own the land. They don't fucking own the land, alright? Nobody on this fucking planet really owns the land. Not in the way that you're thinking about it. You know, God, Creator, Allah, whatever whatever that concept is, whatever the name is, whatever the title is for that divine entity, whether it be an external, internal, whatever you want to perceive it as, that concept, that core concept of creation, unless you can prove that, you know, humanity came out of its own ass, then everything on this fucking planet belongs to God or Creator or whatever you want to call it. Now let's not then abandon that concept. You know, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in you know, Allah, I don't believe in this, that and the other. You know, it doesn't really matter, because what you're doing with your disbelief is making sure that all the fucking wrong lords are owning stuff in your head. You know, the Queen does not own all the shit that we think she owns. She owns it because she cannot disown it. Anything you cannot disown, you own. Everything else is just title ownership. Mine, mine, mine. You know, I've seen people say, oh, I've got a car, a Lamborghini. Well, get it out then. Where is it? Oh, no, it's in a different country in a garage. Well, you ain't got it then, have you? It's just over there with your name on it. You know, this ownership, it's an anagram for New World Order. Now, you know, all of these anagrams, just look out for them. We can't own anything. You know, I own my arm because it's my own arm. I cannot disown it because, you know, it would perish. But for somebody to tell me I can't walk across a fucking field because they own it, or somebody they're working for is owning it, that is an absolute fucking disgrace. And I told him, and I just didn't really get angry, but I just said to him, you know, basically, I'm not anybody else. I'm me. And I'm walking, you know, I can walk on this earth. You know, I respect your, you know, work, carry on. I'll carry on too, bye. I fucking hate it, people. I fucking hate it. And in the next video, I'll just do a little bit of, you know, I'll just sort of try and touch on the way I see this society as being, just the madness of our perception being a totally paper perception. No virtues whatsoever, just values on pieces of paper. This field is worth this amount of numbers, and it's mine because I've paid those numbers. You know, well, it might be virtuous if you actually worked for those numbers, worked out of the love, and to actually show a duty to that piece of land. But no, you fucking remote control ownership. Oh, I own that over there. You can't sit there, somebody's already sitting there. It's so fucking, you know, and people don't understand it when I tell them, you know, somebody who owns land doesn't really own the land. They have a massive responsibility to it. All you need to do is find out why their responsibility is, you know, that they're not meeting their responsibility. They're not actually doing God's work, so to speak, with that what they've left in the, you know, in their care. Because, you know, we have a responsibility over this earth that's been created. I don't care what your beliefs are. It's been created, it's created, it's evolved, whatever. It's a long time ago. It belongs to nobody today. So any fucker that comes up to me and says he owns it, only in title, only in concept. And you know, they're fucking far away from losing it. Because you're acting like a fucking statist, capitalist money whore with this piece of land that you've been given from God. God's going to get it fucking back, and he's sent people like us to go and do it. I'm sorry for getting angry, but, you know, these people, when they sit there with their fucking snobby, bigotry, fucking hypocritical faces looking at me, telling me I can't walk barefoot across this fucking grass. At least he was polite. I suppose that's what politeness is for, is the people who just can't fucking get in contact with life. I'll leave it there. Sorry for shouting. I'm sure I'm more entertaining when I shout anyway. Fuck, don't we all feel like this?